All right. Hello. I'm here. I'm very happy and excited to be here today with DaRa SheRan, who who is my healer now and my teacher and my friend, and not necessarily in that order. I don't know which order. I don't know which order. But anyway, DaRa is an amazing person, and well, she has amazing things to talk about. So first, DaRa, tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do. Okay?
I will talk about what am I doing mostly because
The camera.
I never am able to tell about really who am I or myself. Anyway, most of my life I was involved in the musical world.
You mean you compose music and...
Yes, I taught also all kinds of theoretical subjects about compositions, and I learned at the academic level here in Israel and in Canada, and I learned composition and even orchestral conducting, which I adored by then. But I was fascinated mostly teaching, because one of my dreams, which I couldn't realize, was to be a psychologist. I always was infatuated about the spirit of people, of the by then was children, and afterwards, later in my life, adults. And maybe this is one of the reasons I left teaching music, because I felt that it's enough. And I would like to work with adults. Parallel, many years ago, in fact about almost 40 years ago, or maybe 40 years ago, I started to be very curious about things beyond worldly things. Canada is quite mystical, at least this is the way I absorbed it, the atmosphere. You know that UFOs are on the sky, so in the bright daylight, and people are just staring at them. So all the things came together probably at a certain moment in my life. So I started to read a lot. What I know that I was born very conscious. I was born, but because and due, maybe I believe it was part of my program, it was nothing incidental. This consciousness was asleep for many years. But what I used to talk about, maybe this is the only thing I'm talking about myself, with my friends, as you are, is that I remember my very, very first thought I had on this earth.
Wow.
And it was about the age, I asked my mother, and it was about the age of 18 months.
Wow.
Very early, and I didn't meet anybody else that can remember.
Not me.
Yeah, many others too. And it was astonishing that this is many years ago.
Your first thought, not your thought, but maybe your first question?
There were two thoughts. One was a question, and the other was, and I remember, and I even see myself up today. I see the room I woke up, it was afternoon, probably 3-4 o'clock. It was in Romania, in a kitchen. Anyway, it also facilitated. My father was a tailor. And I just woke up from my sleep and stood. Probably it was the first time that I was able to stand up, in my whatever you call it.
Crib, the crib, or whatever it was.
Cradle,
Yes.
it was a cradle, not a crab.
Okay.
It was a reel with a grill or something like this. Anyway, I stood up and I looked. It was lovely light afternoon, you know, still the sun shining, and my father sat on a table sewing something, and all this wonderful, beautiful light came around his head.
Oh wow.
It was really beautiful. So my first question was, who is that? And the other thought was, well, now I'm here, let's see what will come.
Oh wow.
Which is,
Oh wow.
I still have goosebumps, I can't believe. Very profound and very, this for me, it is being very conscious. But as I told you.
But DaRa, what was the moment? You say you were asleep, like all of us were asleep when we were young. What was the moment when you really woke up?
The moment was, really woke up, it was, I think, only about almost 26 years ago.
Okay. And what happened then?
I think waking up, it really depends what you mean by waking up. Because as I told you, I read a lot, and this process gave me the possibility to wake up. But I was not connected with myself.
Okay.
But in 85, it was October 85, I started the rebirthing processes.
Okay. Okay.
And I was fascinated by it.
Okay.
And since then I am working through this process.
Are you a rebirther yourself?
Yeah, rebirther, yes.
Okay.
I work for many years privately and of course in groups and seminars, giving seminars. And I love it.
How can you explain very briefly to our audience what rebirthing is?
Well, there is the classical rebirthing,
Which is what?
Which is getting backwards, being able through a technique, a breathing technique, the person is able to go back to his birth into this life.
Okay.
Because the classic school of rebirthing believes that this is the most important moment for a person in life, because all his thoughts, mentality, all his emotions are built through his life upon this second of birth.
Like the teaching of astrology, yes? I mean,
don't know about
astrology they say, well...
yes, but it's completely another point of
But
view.
the idea that the birth is so critical, that
it is critical,
the star,
yes,
whatever, okay.
Right, but this, because it is so
experiential,
so it is very profound. It's not just somebody tells you about it.
Indeed,
you experience it.
Amazing.
And
amazing.
It is amazing. Not everybody reaches, because persons have many blocked energies, blocked thoughts,
yes, indeed.
blocked emotions, but it is possible. And I think that was one of my rebirthing into this life, being able, yes, to experience this birth moment, and even much more to cut the umbilicus consciously of my mother, the connection, because we had a very ambivalent relationships, and yet wonderful and very symbiotic.
Okay. But in order to grow, in order to become,
I had to.
you had to cut it.
Yeah.
And you did.
I think, yeah.
Okay. And you talked about classical rebirthing.
Yes.
But the rebirthing, I understand that you do, is not classical in that...
It is based on.
Okay.
It is based on, but of course experience working with since 87.
Yes.
With people and through so
of
many.
Course, yeah.
I experience my own experiences, my own view.
Indeed.
To look to people, to understand people. And so my approaches comes from mostly my experiences. And then also reading a lot, because I was always fascinated, as I told you, about the spirit, the psychology of a person. So I was able to look at a person and see much more than just a technique or just what I was taught about certain points to look.
Indeed, you found your own ways of working.
Right, to work and to know the person.
Indeed.
I love people.
Yes, I know that. Okay, so this fascination with books and with different teachings, how does it connect with the Book of Knowledge, and what is that, and why is it important?
I think it was my my connections with Book of Knowledge was gradually, of course, and I was absolutely conducted to it, guided to it. And I had some points through this period of 12 years that I remember that people just out of the blue began to speak about a book by the name, the Book of Knowledge, without knowing what it is and where
That's
it
a
is.
sign. That's a
Yes,
sign.
and there were several.
You betcha.
Yeah,
That's a sign of
like this, yeah.
that synchronicity is a sign that we're being guided.
Yes.
So you were guided to this book. And,
I was.
And what is this book?
I was. Well, may I one?
Indeed, you may.
This? Among all these signs, the most fascinating one. There were a few others, but this was very deeply encrusted into my heart. I remember some channeler told me about a certain. It was Shavuot, okay?
Which is the Jewish holiday when the ancient Israelites got the Torah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that person, the channeler, asked me that at the specific day, in this holiday, to meditate.
Okay.
I didn't know why. I think I asked her, but she didn't answer. Anyway, I was conducted to a certain level, and I met Moses.
How appropriate for this holiday of receiving the Torah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I met Moses, which, by the way, I believe it was the real Moses because it looks so different from all the pictures. It's not a picture that I imagined, but it was Moses.
So it looks different from Charlton Heston. Is that right?
Charlton Heston and Michelangelo and whatever. Yeah, all the other pictures. It was very real. And he led me to a fountain.
Okay.
And he asked me to drink the
water
of this fountain, which years afterwards I understood that it was a preparation also, and energetically, consciously.
Okay.
And then he took me by hand to a small house, like Galicia, the Jews, like they used to live in Galicia.
In Poland before the Shoah.
Czechia, all this.
Yes.
A small house. So, and I entered, and there were rabbis, many rabbis, rabbinical at all. And they were, all their faces were in a book.
Oh my goodness.
everyone was seated in a complete silence, reading a book. And Moses told me that I have to sit among them. I had no idea why. And what is this?
Oh my goodness. I didn't know this. Yes.
And I didn't receive the answers. I was just completely not fascinated, but astounded and no, speechless. I didn't know what to say, how to act in front of such lights. They were lights, completely. And so I sat like in silence. I waited for a sign, and that's it, the whole meditation that I can remember.
Oh my goodness.
So that was one of, but I had several others.
Several what?
Others.
Okay. And you understood clearly that the book they were looking at was this thing called the Book of Knowledge?
No. Also, it took me several years.
Okay.
I had to correlate everything, all these signs.
Okay.
Before. No, I wasn't. Anyway, I was led. This is another story. If you want me,
yes, happily.
76. By then I was married, and we went for sort of a second honeymoon in Czechia.
Yes.
Czechoslovakia.
In 76?
96.
96. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
96. And when I came back, I got sick.
Okay.
It was this virus, the yappy virus.
Vaguely I heard something, but whatever.
It
whatever
is sleeping the whole day. You can't do really nothing. You can't do anything. You can't talk. You can't eat. You can't anything to do. Just sleep.
It sounds like Epstein-Barr, but whatever.
No.
Okay.
It was milder.
Thank God.
Yeah. Anyway, instead of teaching, because by then I had a spiritual center and groups and seminars scheduled and everything. So instead of teaching, barely I was able to speak and just sleeping. And it was really a difficult period for me. And it took me about 3 months to awaken myself and say it's impossible to continue like this. I don't want to.
Of course.
So the minute I said this, I was able to find the right person for me to cure.
To be cured.
To be cured.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she had her clinic in another town in the center of Israel, and waiting for my turn she had patients. I was unable to sit, just in the sitting room. I told her that I will come into a direct time and I'm going out. And just walking around, I found a lovely small New Age shop.
Yes.
And I entered that shop. It was the first time. And the owner of the shop never saw me in her life, and I didn't see her in her life. And I was looking just around, crystals, whatever, and she just came towards me. And by then I was still occupied with Enoch's case.
The Keys of Enoch.
Right.
Which is a book that I love and have studied, yes.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And the other title is the Book
of Knowledge. Like the subtitle, right?
I was absolutely convinced that this is the top of the top of the top, and there never can be anything about it.
Yes. I've had that belief at certain times, yes. Okay.
Of course.
And it is a great book, yes.
And wonderful, And it has been translated wonderfully too in Hebrew, which was very difficult.
So I understand.
Yeah, a wonderful job.
Okay, so you were reading the Keys of Enoch
So
by J.J. Herta.
I was not reading. I was occupied. I had it at home for about 8 years already. I told you last time that things didn't move exactly that I planned to translate that book. And the owner of the shop came straight to me and told me, you know, there is a book, the Knowledge Book. Would you like to read it?
Yes.
And I said, I don't know. Why? Do you have it? No, I have to receive from Turkey. It's from Turkey. And I said, I don't know. I'm satisfied with Keys of Enoch. I really don't know. But if you agree to bring it without any obligation on my part, okay, I will look. That's how it started.
Okay.
And the book arrived from Turkey in 4 days, which is a miracle because the coast of Turkey, it takes weeks,
Okay.
if not even longer.
Okay.
So in 4 days it arrived. I will make it very short. There were many very unbelievable events around all this issue, and I felt that I have to translate it. It was by then I got the permission also from my husband. I asked him.
What a huge project. That's a big project.
A huge project, and this is how I received and began my mission.
Okay, now, so you translated it into Hebrew.
Right.
And you are, as I understand, the principal teacher of this book.
Not today. It used to be the only one. It's not the principal. The only teacher. But
But you brought it here.
no, that person brought.
Yeah.
I translated it, and we started at my home. Everything for over 3 years. I was the only teacher and gave the whatever was necessary surrounding this project.
So, DaRa, I understand that this book was channeled by a woman in Turkey.
Right.
And you had the blessing, the great opportunity, and the privilege to spend quite a bit of time with her. Is that right?
Right.
And what is her name? And tell me about her. And tell me about the book.
Her worldly name is Vedya Chorak, Onsu Chorak, Mrs. Vedya Onsu Chorak. Her cosmic name, as she's known in the entire cosmos, is Mevlana.
Mevlana.
Now she is the main, it's even above the genie, and it's not just an incarnation, because she is the spokesperson of the system, and she came especially for this huge project
to bring the book.
And to form this union. It's called World Brotherhood Union.
Okay, that sounds nice. That sounds really good.
There are thousands and thousands of members.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
All over the globe. There are many focal points and groups, studying groups all over the world today. She invested a huge time and work.
Yes.
And just, it's impossible to talk about who is this person. I will just say this, that in order to be incarnated in a human body, she was, how do you say, not augmented, diminished.
Diminished.
Her energy was diminished 100,000 times.
in order to make this, like this vast cosmic entity, in order to squeeze it into a human body somehow.
Because if she would have come with her consciousness, her cosmic consciousness, this planet would evaporate.
Okay, woohoo. Okay, so
so this is Mevlana.
But she still has quite a bit of this cosmic consciousness going through her.
Only, it's not so. Being in a universal mission, it's not so easy as many things maybe envies the person.
Mm-hmm.
Her cosmic consciousness is not with her on the planet, except her mission.
It's not with
only
her
this,
on the planet.
Personal,
not the personal. So she's like a normal person. Okay, but when the mission work comes through, she's bringing through that vast.
Only this this part of the consciousness.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
And so you spent time with her, and you received initiations from her, and is that right, or?
Just knowledge, and we don't believe in initiation. I mean, being in the frame of the knowledge book to work, this is the initiation.
Okay.
And I explain why.
Please explain.
Okay, because the moment, first of all, there is a special list of the conscious in the cosmos. Okay, under these systems that I mentioned before, in order.
I'll say that again. There's a special list.
There is a special list of all the consciousness who volunteered to come for the benefit of the humankind and be in the frame of the knowledge book.
Okay.
Okay. There are should be about 2 million consciousness
that volunteered to somehow bring this book to humanity. Is that right?
To talk and teach and whatever is necessary to link between the book and the humanity and to serve. The sentence is to serve humanity in this fashion.
Okay.
So the minute, this is why this list is automatically processed by the cosmos. So not everyone can receive even a fascicle. Whoever receives a fascicle...
What's a fascicle? You mean a part?
The book consists of, let's say, chapters.
Okay, like a chapter or a part.
Like a chapter or a part of, it consists of 62 fascicles.
Got it.
Okay? And the minute that you... as a member of the knowledge book, yes, and your mission, your weekly mission on this world is to give one fascicle, a special one, usually is the first one, to give to somebody. So this somebody cannot receive unless he is on the list.
You mean
automatically.
You mean there's a closed list of, let's say, 2 million people, and these are the guys who volunteered to spread this word, okay? And the only way you could get one of these fascicles
if you are on
the list. So obviously, you were born on this list, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the moment a person receives the fascicle.
Indeed, yeah.
There are in the space there are spaceships.
Yeah, so I understand.
Okay, many spaces, and these spaces are under covenant.
Yes.
Under covenant and with the missions, different missions.
Indeed.
Okay, so there is special spaceship which whatever the main thing they are occupied, their mission is that to follow human consciousnesses on this planet.
Okay, to monitor, to track.
They monitor that there are special apparatus
to monitor the level of human.
The consciousness.
The Keys of Enoch talks about these monitors. Yes.
Right. So, the minute that the person receives a fascicle from the knowledge book, he is monitored automatically, and bulb light.
Yes.
It is
goes
turned on.
Yes, on. Yes.
Because there is a list near the bulb, there is a code.
Okay.
Of that person specifically.
Okay.
The code belongs to the Akashic library.
Okay.
So they can receive from the file, the specific file of this person from the Akashic library.
Okay.
And then they can help this person.
Okay.
Consciously.
You mean that the monitors in the sky could help this person?
Yeah, but the helping is very specific. It's not just he will be a millionaire and all this world you dream, not at all. Helping him only in his mission.
Okay, got it. Yes.
And the mission is to serve humanity.
Okay.
Under the knowledge.
Let me ask you something. How did it affect you to read the book, and how might the viewers expect it to affect them if they got the book and started reading the book? I mean, what will it do to them and to me? What does it do to you to read this book?
It's very different from person to person. There is no way. As many consciousness on this world, we are almost 7 billion.
More and more.
Okay. And in this cosmos, how many?
Indeed.
Right. So everyone experiences in his way according to the consciousness level.
Okay.
Okay.
But I know.
For me.
Yes.
For me, it was. I always talk about it as the glue, because there are many aspects, but one mainly aspect which I was very interested, at least then, is that I read a lot, I absorbed a lot, but nothing really filled me up with the light, even not for the long time, let's say, when I had a religious period in my life too.
Okay.
It was wonderful, marvelous, and I remember with much happiness, but nothing really filled me with that huge, light that you feel fulfilled.
And this is what did it for you?
This is what it did for me, because it was the glue between all these small pieces I acquired all my life, and everything received a very, very ordered. Everything was orderly already, what I was looking for.
I see.
Everything was very clear suddenly, like a huge picture of everything, all my questions, all my doubts, all my suspicions, everything. It was in the right place.
Okay.
And on the other hand, I received huge, enormous energy from the book. The book has a special technology.
DaRa has tremendous energy. I've worked with a lot of healers, and it's just absolutely amazing the energy that you have.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm not so much aware of it.
Okay.
Only when people told me. The technology, the special technology of the Knowledge Book, which is unique.
Technology of the book. Okay.
The technique, the book was written, and it still has this this energy, special energy, which I'm going to explain.
In other words, it's
very
coated
unique.
with energy, and
No, it's not holy. It's
no,
not
coated.
holy.
It's coated with energy.
Coded, right? Coded with energy.
Is that correct?
Right.
So when I read
It's
it,
encoded
I'm
with
being
energy.
downloaded with all these codes that.
Uncoded, but it's a special one, and it has its matara,
Purpose?
purpose.
Okay, what is the purpose?
Because the knowledge book came this time, not 1,000 before, and not in 1,000 in the future.
Indeed.
It has a special purpose for the humanity. Several purposes, and we still learn. The more you read, you more discover. But the main one is to unite humanity.
Ah, okay. Amen.
To unite humanity. It has a great amount of scientific knowledge, which time will decode it.
Okay.
And we can grasp only up to whatever this time
Yes.
facilitates our minds to understand.
Indeed.
Okay, and what we now can understand is the book explains why we should be united and why we all are brothers and sisters without any discrimination of religion or sex or language or color or whatever.
Indeed. I know, for instance, the Keys of Enoch by Hertak, it says that people who will read that book will receive codes, will be coded on the subatomic, atomic, molecular, mental, I don't know, gives all these 7 levels that the book actually works to code you on, the Keys of Enoch. And when I read the Keys of Enoch, I actually can sort of feel it. You know, I can feel this weird energy going in me, and it's very nice. Not weird, maybe it's unusual, but it's very nice.
It's
So
much more.
yeah,
For me, I had a period, it was the late 80s, that because my energies were not balanced.
right.
I had all the time, I was either full of energy or very low of energy, full of energy or very low energy. And that all the time, you know, like a pendulum from one side to the other. And it really is very tiring, that the body was tired.
No doubt.
So each time I needed energy, I just put, you know, like what is said about the covenant, the God covenant that the Jews brought from Egypt, the Arona bread. It is full of energy and don't touch it.
Yes, indeed.
So this was for
the
me.
Ark of the Covenant.
Right,
Yes.
Ark of the Covenant. So the book of Enoch was for me. The minute I put my hand, I was filled with energy, and this is the way I balanced mine.
Okay, and the Book of Knowledge, what are you saying? The same thing, more so,
No,
or
because it's beyond this cosmos.
beyond the cosmos? So what does that mean?
Okay, everybody knows that there are dimensions, right? There are
Yes.
dimensions, infinite dimensions,
Yes,
let's
indeed.
say, and it's another chapter to talk about it another time.
Another time.
Okay, so even the Book of Enoch, even in the introduction, he speaks about the 3 mansions of God.
The 3 or the many mansions of God.
Mansion.
It's the expression of Jesus. My Father's house has many mansions.
It has many mansions.
Yes.
But in this cosmos, they speak about 3.
Are you talking about the Paradise universe, the Sun universe, and the Father universe?
Yes, another
Perhaps.
expression, but
Okay.
more or less the same.
Okay.
So these 3 universes,
Yes.
have boundaries between them. So
Indeed.
unless you reach a certain level of consciousness, you can't go from one universe to another, right?
Right.
Okay. So the knowledge book is not only beyond those three dimensions,
Okay.
but beyond the infinity and beyond, let's say, the very birth of God.
Okay. Okay.
This is the dimensions included in it. Those are the dimensions.
And when you actually,
So I can't feel all these huge.
so you don't feel it.
But I feel, not as a book, as I told you, but I feel when I read it.
What do you feel? I mean, can you?
Huge energy.
Huge energy.
Huge energy, really going through my spine.
So not from touching the book like the Keys of
No,
Enoch,
because it's impossible.
but from reading the book.
But from reading, and this is what the special technology I told you about.
Okay. Well, I want to get this. I want to get this book. How can we get this book, Dar? How can the viewers and me? What do we do? Do we Google?
Fortunately, I told you I left this frame of being. I'm always will be involved with the knowledge book because it's in me.
Indeed.
But I don't work anymore in the frame as a worker of it.
Yes.
And many the groups have been changed. And
Couldn't we
I
just-
don't know, but
Probably. I mean,
whoever-
probably you could just Google the Book of Knowledge, right?
But whoever is interested, just look me up, DaRa SheRan in Facebook, and I will look up who is in charge of selling the book in Israel, and I will give you that.
Oh, well, we have a lot of viewers all over North America, I think.
So
So they could just maybe Google.
just Google the Knowledge Book-Mevlana organization, and you will receive the address exactly where to look for. They have a site, Mevlana organization. It is called DKB, not slash. I think it's small.
They'll find. I'm sure if they Google Knowledge Book.
DKB Mevlana organization.
Mevlana, which would be like, I guess, M
MEVLAN.
Okay. Well, like it sounds, Mevlana.
Mevlana organization.
Mevlana organization. Daria, there's so much I could talk with you about and so much I could ask about. Today we're just gonna scratch the surface a little bit. You have this amazing multi-dimensional vision. I know that when you work with me, you see these non-physical doctors who I would love to see, but I don't see them, but I feel them, and I feel them working on me somewhat. And this extraordinary vision and multi-dimensionality that you have, is it connected to your work with the Book of Knowledge?
Yes, in fact, it inspired me to dare and go further in my private work, not in the missionary work. And many phrases and concepts from the knowledge book I transferred to this approach. It's not a system, it's a healing approach.
Your healing approach.
Yeah.
Which you call?
Called SyncEnergetics.
Okay.
SyncEnergetics.
And very briefly, before we go, how would you describe SyncEnergetics? What is that?
Well, it has another completely, in my view, okay? Usually when it says that it's mine, there are many others too on the globe, but you still don't know them, so
right.
Please.
Right.
I want to keep my modesty still. But anyway, in my view, the main thing that I personally lacked, and this is the reason I never learned any healing, any healing system.
Yes.
It was that I think the healer has to go through a deep process of involvement before he starts to work on others.
I'm sure that's so.
So this is one. There are a few concepts which are maybe different from the others known ones, but this is the main one. When I teach SyncEnergetics, it takes about 3 years.
Okay.
A seminar or a course or whatever you want to call it, of 3 years of involvement in order to really be
Okay.
a healer.
To be a healer.
A
in
healer. You
in
can
this
be
system.
in the first year, what I call rebreathing, not rebirthing, but rebreathing. So you can, through this process of knowing the rebreathing and the connection between the personality and the mentality of a person, which affects a person, right?
You bet.
You call it spirit, guf nefesh, how you say it?
Body,
Spirit, body, okay?
Yes.
Through breath, but
Soul, body, yeah.
Soul, body, right? So this is the first year. The second one, it is of course a deeper level, and after a stage.
Yes, yes. Stage would be like a medical
Apprentice,
student
yeah.
does his internship.
Internship, right?
Yeah.
Internship. You can work. You receive a diploma, and you can work.
Okay.
But the last year, which is master year,
Yes.
then it is even a further and a deeper level of awareness, a higher level of consciousness, and several initiations.
Okay. Yes, well, I believe it, and I experience it through her. So, DaRa, okay, how will people find you on Facebook? How do you write DaRa SheRan?
DaRa SheRan.
Like it sounds, yes.
SheRan. And mostly SyncEnergetics afterwards.
SyncEnergetics, which would be
SYNC
energetics. Like one word.
Yeah, it's synchronizing. Yes, I was asked several times. Not everybody understands what SyncEnergetics, which I was astonished also. But it is synchronizing all your bodies.
Okay, that's quite a feat. That's quite an
Synchronizing
accomplishment.
in order to be complete and whole, and to be able to work with your I am continuously.
Whoa.
To be your I am, in fact.
Whoa. Sounds pretty amazing. Okay. Thank you very much, DaRa.
Thank you. It was an honor really to be with you. Thank you so much.
The honor is mine.
Trusting. And if we have 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, go ahead.
If you have, just because we started from a certain point, when we started work together, do you see any development through this time? It is about 6 weeks or something like this.
Well,
we started at the end of August.
I
right?
could say I feel much more energy in my body. The reason I was impressed with DaRa and decided to work with her is I have trouble sometimes with my left lung, and like too much fluid every now and then it comes up, and it's very hard when it does. And the first time I met DaRa, she said, without me saying anything, "Oh, I see that there's a bit of a problem with your left lung, and that fluid is building in your lung." And well, that sold me. There were some other things that really struck me as well, but that was a big one. And frankly, I am feeling much more energy in my body. I can move this arm better than I could.
We work on it.
Better than I could before. And there's a lot going on. So yes, I feel like these surgeons are actually coming and working on me because I'm feeling more integrated and more energetic and more whole. So and more strength for life. So that's what I could say. Thank you, Dara.
Thank you.
Okay, until next time. Bye bye.
Yes, thank you.
Bye bye.